Aloha. Mwah. Hey everyone, it is Saturday night. It is 10:38 p.m. Oh man, I've had, this has been the longest week. Anyway, had my surgery on Tuesday. It was a long day. We got there early, and then it was a long wait getting called back in. Several people were ahead of me. And then my surgery was long. I was in recovery a long time. And then I went back to the room that I went in before they took me back into surgery. And stayed there for a little bit. And then I was dismissed. Came home. Didn't get home until, I guess it was 8:30 or a little after that night, on Tuesday night. And then on Wednesday afternoon, I started not feeling too good. And wasn't quite sure what it was about. And then earlier in the afternoon, though, there was like a, let me pull this down a little bit. There was like a tightening up here at the upper, let's see, here is where my finger is the upper part of the, where the cast is. You can see it right here where I'm making the circle around. And the ace bandage. Anyway, it started tightening on me, and I was just like, what the heck? And the longer the time went, the tighter it was getting. Then it was getting tighter down here at the bottom, at the wrist area. And I was just like fit to be tied. And then the more it tightened, the more I wasn't feeling good. And that went all the way through the night, into the wee hours. And then they had told me before I was released that Kindred at Care, which is going to be the people that I used back in September, well, October, November, December, part of January, after my fall, September the 29th. And another reason I'm talking funny, the underneath my tongue is slit a little bit. It got caught on this tooth, so if I stop and moving it around, it's just hard to get it. This is the most talking I've done since that happened. But anyway, I'm going to try to get this done because I'm not up to typing it. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know where I was going. Anyway, just bear with me. I'm in a lot of pain at the moment, and this tongue, and so I'm trying to think, and it's just not wanting to come out right. So just bear with me. Hang with me, if you will. Anyway, I was just like, what is going on? And finally, I guess when I finally went to sleep, I don't know what time it was, but then I was sleeping real good when I thought I heard the phone ringing, and I wasn't sure, and so I kind of ignored it and went on, drifted back. Sure enough, it was ringing, and I picked it up, and it was the Kindred at home, were calling to let me know that they had some good news, that I was approved, which I knew that I would be. And then said I wanted to find out if it would be all right if I came on out today. And I said, oh, you bet. I don't care what time. Come on. And I said, I may have to holler and say, hey, come on in, and I'm back here in the bedroom. Whatever. I mean, she said, no problem. And she said, you don't sound too good. And then I told her, she said, oh, dear. She said, well, I'm glad we're coming on out. And I said, me too. Because instead of Houston, we've got a problem. It's San Saba's got a problem. We got a situation. And so anyway, she got here, and she got here a little after 12 and was here for a little over 3 hours. But the first initial visit does take that long, and sometimes longer than that. I know that for a fact from being, when I used to work, I was a provider, and then I was also a primary caregiver, and so I know what it takes and how long on different sessions, and so I'm familiar with the length of it. Anyway, she came out, and real nice, real sweet. Turns out that she used to work with an orthopedic surgeon, and during surgery and after surgery, and so she knew all the process, and so she clued me in on a lot of clues and helped me out tremendously. And then I had a situation that happened yesterday evening and into the night and into the wee hours of this morning. And then she was, even though she was off today, she called me and answered my questions about the problem I was having. And she did agree with me that it was due to all the meds that they gave me during surgery and after surgery, and those meds have to escape. There's several ways that it escapes through your body to get out of your body, and this one particular way was not a very good way, and I was like a wrung out wash rag after 30 times. I lost count after 30. And she said, I'm surprised it didn't hit you before then. And I said, well, no. I said, and then too, isn't it usually the third day that if you've had surgery or some kind of procedure, that the third day is usually your worst day? And she said, yes. And I said, well, mine, I would have to say that mine was the second day. And she said, well, yeah, from what you told me yesterday when I was there, yeah. And even the first day after surgery, which was Wednesday, and that was, pretty big, rough night. So it started hitting me earlier, and then it let up, and then it started back up again. And so anyway, I've gotten over that hump, and now we've gone back to where it's tightening at the bottom and it's tightening up at the top. So it was relieved for a short period of time by what all that she had done. And so I'm hoping that when the nurse comes tomorrow, she will be able to do the same thing. Now, whether or not if she will or not, I don't know. it may have to wait until she comes back, the one that I had on Thursday. So, you know, we'll see. I think she will, but, you know, I don't know. But anyway, go back for my first post-op on the 13th of July. And I've talked with the office on Thursday. Let them know what was going on the night before. And I will call them Monday to let them know what all went on last night and part of the wee hours of today. And, you know, I stay in touch with my doctors when there's anything going on, because the only way they know how to help you is if you let them know. You may not consider it important or necessary or, oh, that's not anything, I don't have to mention it. Go ahead and mention it, because why? You are not the doctor. You are not educated in the form of what the doctor that you've entrusted your body and your problem with. And so let her or him do their job. And the only way they can do their job efficiently to benefit you as best as possible, help you as best as possible, is if when you open that door and speak, let them know. And you can even say, you know, I wasn't going to tell you this, but, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then tell them. And, well, and they'll let you know if it was, you know, if it's, you know, but yet they're going to tell you, thank you, I appreciate you telling me. And then they'll say, you know, it's not going to be a situation where it's going to be a problem with what's going on, or, you know, they'll let you know, but yet that lets them know that you're going to let them know what's going on when you leave the office. And wherever you're at and who's ever around you, if there's situations going on, you need to let them know, because, you know, that's how they can help take care of you. Not just with what's going on with whatever procedure or surgery or illness or pain and stuff that you're having, but yet around you, because that can affect you as well. And so it's, you know, everybody's got a part to play. Everybody has a role to play. And you need to, you know, read the lines, you know, you get, you know, clued in, and, you know, you just be open and honest and truthful and upfront with your doctor or doctors, and in turn, they will as well. And then if you don't understand a question, don't be shy to say, well, I don't quite know what you mean by what you just said. Could you, you know, tell me a little bit better, rephrase it where I can understand it? And they'll take the time to do so, because they want you to understand what they're trying to tell you. And if they're not going to take time to do that, finish out the visit and say, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a good day. Thank you. And then go on, and then you go and find another doctor, because you need one that's going to, where you can converse with them, and they're not going to be looking at their watch and the clock and going, hurry up, you know, I've got another patient, you know, rushing you in and rushing you out, because that's what the insurance people are paying, whether it's privately or work or whatever insurance is doing it, or if you're paying cash, it don't matter which way you're paying it. They're getting the money, and so, by golly, you want the service that you're paying for, or that your insurance company's paying for. And so, you know, we should not have to fight for that, but sometimes it takes that. And then sometimes they just want to see how hard you're going to work at it. And if you're walking the walk and talking the talk, and then when they see that you're meaning business, then they jump on board. Or they know they're not going to get their money. And so, you know, you've got to be diligent and pull up those bootstraps and go for it. Don't be shy. But anyway, like I said, I go back on the 13th unless he needs to see me a lot sooner. And my gut feeling says I'll be in there before the 13th. But then again, I may not. I don't know. It's just how this is going so far. And if I do make it to the 13th, I will be glad. And that will be a very blessed day for me. Because I will hopefully get some other answers as well that I've got questions to. And my curiosity, naturally. And then I'm hoping that he will be able to make a DVD of if he happened to take a video of the surgery, I want a copy of it. I also want copies of the photos that he took, so it can be for my records as well. I'm just one that when things are being done on me or around me or I'm involved, I want one as well. It's, you know, some people, it doesn't matter. But to me, it does matter. And that way I can show it to the rest of my doctors and they'll have it. Of course, they've got access to it as well. I understand that. I know that. But then, you know, it's just the way I do things on my medical. So, everybody has their own way and their own niche. So, this is mine. So, anyway. And now I'm getting little shooting pains right there. It's little shot treatments. And I've not had a broken bone in there, so, you know, I think it's just the nerves in there waking up on that part where that is going on. But, man, that's catching my attention. So if I'm jumping, and that's what that is. Anyway, this is it's a black sling. And then, let me take this off and show you the underneath part. Let me get this down this way. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Alright. Now, yes, my hand and fingers are swollen, as you can tell. And then, I don't know, let's see. these 3 bruises that you see on my hand here on top, I believe that was when they were pulling me off the bed that I had in the room that I was on and putting me on the surgery table. I think that's where those 3 came from, because I remember them grabbing my top of my hand and I kept going, ow, and they go, what? And I said, that hurt. And it doesn't take much pressure to bruise me. And this was done on Tuesday afternoon. So you can see how that's still doing that. And then I've got bruises on the back of my shoulder, and then on my back itself, and then underneath both my arms. And then I've got one, let's see if I can show you. Right there. And then here is where you can see where it's cutting in. This is what's hurting and bothering me. You can see like I said, it's cutting, and it's like, and then it continues over here as well. It goes all the way around to underneath. And so I'm just like, you can quit, ow, you can quit, ow, you know, it's, you know. And then this was loose. It looks loose right here, but it's not. It is tightening up. It was looser yesterday, and that's because my hand has swelled even more than what it was yesterday. And so, you know, if I'm not getting cut off at one end, I'm getting cut off at the other end. So that means that the blood is not flowing the way it needs to be flowing. And it doesn't matter which way I put the arm, it doesn't relieve it. It, you know, it just is, I'm just kind of frustrated with it, because I'm worried about the whole purpose of the surgery was to relieve compression and pinching for, you know, to be able for the flow of the blood to run. And now this is happening again at both at the top and at the bottom, and I'm like, you know, it can't continue to be like that. So I don't know. Just, you know, and I slept real good last night after the situation that I had, after feeling like a rag doll, and today I'm just drained. I wonder why. I imagine after, you know, like I said, I lost count after 30 times, so, you know, and I hadn't been around anybody that was sick or anything like that, so I knew it wasn't that, so, you know, but, and today, I've not taken my temperature. I will here in a little bit, but I feel that my fever, there is even if it is, it's probably a low-grade fever, but that's still fever for me. And I can tell when I'm running fever, and that's how I'm feeling. And I already know that there's naturally fever in this because of the surgery. It's just a normal reaction to, you know, of healing. But yet, there's more going on, but, you know, I don't know. So that's my update. But like I was, back to what I was trying to say, is I slept good finally last night, and I didn't wake up until, I don't know, it was sometime after 3:30 this afternoon that I woke up, and it was a good sleep. And as it turned out, I was informed that it rained several times throughout the night and throughout the day, and I slept right on through it. And when it's been raining, I've heard it, because I've also got part of some tin on top over at my kitchen area, that if there's any rain happening, I hear it over there, even if I'm in the bedroom. And I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear no wind. I didn't hear no whistling. I did, shoot. Somebody could have been screaming out there, and I probably wouldn't have heard it, because I was out. I mean, out. So, and then with it raining, that helped even more. And so, I look at it this way, that God and Jesus and my assigned appointed angel and my native forefathers, they wanted me to sleep. And so they made sure that that's what I was going to do. And I'm hoping and praying that that will happen again like that tonight, because I need another night like that one to be able to, get through this. But then it may not be, because I'm going to be watchful on it because of the fact of how it's doing while I'm awake. And it doesn't need to be, doing that while I'm sleeping. So, it's kind of a give and take, so I'm just, it's all going to work out, and it's all going to get better, and this is just part of the humps that you have to go through. And so I'm just not used to these kind of humps. Each surgery is completely different, and I've had lots of surgeries, and they are definitely all different. And I've had a lot of procedures, and those are different. And so, you just got to go with each one as they come. And I'm trying to bite the bullet and trying to walk through it and go through it, but yet I'm like, no. So I'm trying. You know me, I'm a fighter. I'm not a quitter. I'll keep on keeping on. But it would be so easy for me to go, okay, that's it, I'm done. But no, I'm not going to give in, because I'm not a quitter, and I'm not going to give him the benefit of that, because he only deserves 2 words, and that's the end, which is at the last chapter of Revelations, and the last 2 words. And that the end is for that particular person. And everybody that knows who I'm referring to, they know who I'm referring to. And because he is not my ruler, he's not my creator, God is. And he can just go right back down there under that dirt and just stay there, because he's not. And no, that's the end of the conversation on that part, because God is my ruler, God is my driver, God is my creator, God is my father, and he's head boss, and I'm boss. And because he's first in line and I'm second in line, since I'm the head of the household here at my place. And of course, the main head of the household is God. That to me is a given. So that's not a situation. But the head of the household here is me. And you don't want to mess with me and my health and all, because the lioness will come out, and if that doesn't get satisfied or worked with, and she's not able to take care of the situation, the queen lioness will come out, and she will take care of the business. So, you know, I've got a fantastic, wonderful, blessed, amazing, fabulous, awesome medical team that I could ever ask for. And in that also is my workers from and all at Kindred at Home, and also with New Motion. So they are all involved, and they are all part of my medical team. And I'm right in the center, and we are all working together. And it's finally come together after we've worked, all of us, so hard on trying to get a team together that's going to work together and not against each other and pull out in the middle of the game or do a halfway job or, oh, well, I forgot, or, oh, yeah, was I supposed to do that? Well, I'm sorry. It's like a football team, a baseball team, or any sport. If you're going to join and want to be a part of that team, you've got to do the work that is required of you, and that you're wanting to be on that team. Then you've got to show and do your part, whatever that is, and then go that extra mile. Otherwise, you know, and yeah, if you miss practice, if you are, you know, sick, not just sick, you know, but if you're really sick, then that can be excused. Or if you're in the hospital or a death, those are usually the ones that do get the okay, they can understand that. But if it's just to be skipping, no. Even when all three of my children came to me and their father saying that they wanted to join this sport or that sport, you know, and everything, well, you know what it takes? Well, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Well, we said, what's that? And they said, we got to be sure to go to the practices. And they said, most definitely. But before that, what else do you have to do? We've got to do our homework. And then we said, what else do you have to do? What we are assigned to do here at home. And we said, that's right. Because this is a privilege. It's not a requirement. It's not a requirement from school for you to do this. This is a privilege. It's an extra privilege. And so, you know, you've got to do these other three things to be able to follow through with that privilege. And then, you know, we only allowed 2 reasons why. Is if they were, in the hospital or death. We didn't pull the sick card. But we as parents knew that if they've got fever and they're throwing up and all this and everything, we're not going to let our child out there. Because why? They're not going to be going to school because they'll give it to somebody else. And then if the doctor says, you know, they need to stay home, you know, X amount of days before they go back to school, and even before we let them go back to school, we go back to the doctor to find out if they're cleared to go or not. Because you still got to, you know, not have any fever, and you've got to be free of fever X amount of days before you even go back to school. So, and X amount of hours too, as well. So, you know, everybody does things differently, but that's just how I did with my children. That's how I was raised and taught. And so, I followed the same thing. And even the doctors want you to do that. Granted, a lot of people do not go with that. They make their own deal. So, that's y'all's business, But yet, you're going to end up having the child back home 9 times out of 10 because they're still sick. Or they get back to school, and then somebody there at school has got it, and then your child is going to be more subject to that, whatever it is, because they have just gotten sick and their body's still not back into the way it was before it got sick, so it's more susceptible to catch on to anything that's going on at school. So that's why a lot of times the kids are always absent, because they're not able to get over it, and then they're being put back into school before they're really able to. And so, it's just a never-ending battle. It's one that all parents face and go through. There's no escaping it. So, it happens. And it even happens to us adults at work. So, we're a little bit tougher than our children, but sometimes our children are a lot tougher than we are. We need to give them a little bit more credit than that. But anyway, like I said, I've got a fabulous team, and I could not be more pleased, and I'm blessed times over, times over, times over, and grateful and thankful and appreciative, and even in all these places of these medical team, all their workers, all their people on the phone, all their office help, they're also part of my team as well. And it takes all of us to work together, and that is definitely how it's working. And I know that it's going to keep going forth, and everybody is so glad that we're finally got it up and going, because they've seen how I've been and what I've been through and going through, and it's been a long haul, and I've still got a long haul even after I recover from this, because I've got other things that I've got to get done and worked on, and so I'll be adding to the team. And so it's all going to work out. So we're on the mend, and I'm glad that my Kindred at Care started right in. And that's just like when my nurse was here yesterday, she called the doctor and was giving my primary care doctor and letting him know. And he said, you know what? Whatever she needs, do it. Whatever she needs, do it. Now that is a doctor who cares about his patient, because he knows me like the back of his hand. He's been taking care of me since 2006, and he knows my medical. And he knows how hard that we have all worked on trying to get this all up and going, and even on some of my other diseases. And, it's been a long, long process of it. And, it's not been easy. It's been a tough, hard road to get it going, just as we think we all back on the road, like the song says, on the road again. Well, we would be on the road and going down it, and then all of a sudden, plunk, and then we all, one pulls out of the team, and we all go down, and we're like, oh, geez. And so now we got to start all over again, and it's just been it's been a cycle that we've not wanted to be on, but we've had, we're just like, oh my jeez, when are we going to get off this ringer? And, we're just like, nah, so, and now we're going, and so we're all tickled and happy and joyful and excited and thrilled, and it's kind of like a party, we're just like, yippee, finally. So, it helps me with my recovery, and it helps me knowing that all the hard work that not only myself, but also all the hard work that they're doing on all of us trying to get this going. And it's just like, because sometimes we'll even see each other and we'll go, and we're like, exactly. And they said, man, so, it's been trying, and we've gotten through it. So, we've all just, and also I have found that the ones that are with me and on my team are also fighters and not quitters. They're survivors, and they're willing to go the distance. And that makes a difference. And that is like a golden blessing that is filled with all kinds of jewels and all kinds of blessings, and it is the reward of it is getting better and doing better, or to the best that can be done because of the situation. And because the only time that I'm going to be, quote, better or feel good or without pain is when God calls me home. And but in the meantime, I can do the best I can with what I've got with my situation medically, and that's all I can do. And it's one little baby step, one baby step, and one step at a time, and one day at a time, 1 minute at a time. And so it's all going to work out. And I just wanted to give a update and let y'all know how things are going. I know I've been reading the comments, and y'all been wanting to know, and I've also got some other videos to put up that I've got them made, and I've gotten some done. I just haven't gotten it over onto the page. And that's still going to take a little time for me to get that all on there, but they will be on there at some point. When? Please don't box me in. Please don't ask me when or how long is it going to take. I mean, when you see them on there, you see them on there, and I got them on there. And so that's where they'll be when they are at, because I will post them directly on my profile page. So go directly to my profile page. Just because it shows up in your news feed does not necessarily mean that that could be the right one. And it may not be all fixed and all, but just trust me. Go to my page to see my videos, not just on the news feed. You'll get better results from my page. Because trust me, if there's a problem with that video, I'm checking it out before I post it on my page. Because if it's not working, there's no sense in it being on the page. And I will figure it out, or I will completely redo it and start again. I've done that several times. So, and naturally it's taken me longer because I've only got my left hand and my left arm to work with, and so it's natural. And it already was taking me longer with the two anyway. And then when it got to where I couldn't really have much of the right, well, then it really was cutting down. And it's even, I've done a lot of typing since, but it takes me a long time to take the time to type all of that and then get it posted. So it's a long process. It's not just all typed out and then poof, it's on there, and it took 30 minutes to an hour to do. No, this takes several hours for me to do, and sometimes even days to do. So, I look at it, I finally got it completed. Yay! I give myself a big yay moment, because I'm like doing a little happy dance, man. Normally it does not take me that long to do it. And it frustrates me and upsets me that it's taken me longer to do it. But at least I'm getting it done and up there. So, anyway, so I don't feel like I'm losing any brownie points that way. When I start losing brownie points is when it's all messed up, and it's not my fault that it got messed up. It's the place where I'm doing it at, and I get so upset. Then I just have to take a break from it, and then I just start all over, because I cannot get myself worked up that much, because it's detrimental on my health. And I cannot afford that in any way, shape, or form. So, anyway, y'all have a good evening. I hope you have a blessed weekend and a blessed Sunday. And just know I love you. I'm saying blessings and sending healing prayers and healing energy and prayers to all of you. Mwah, mwah. Soft hugs and loves to all of you. And y'all have a good evening. Night-night. Stay in contact. Call me if you know my home phone. And if you know where I live, come see me. Okay? Talk to you later. Love you. Bye.